Alright, this is an exercise how to play lead, work on being a lead player, and working on how to figure out everything on YouTube. Not everything, but a lot of the Hall of Fame songs have this number progression. It's the 1-4-5 of each key with the 6-2 turnaround, 6-2-5-1-4-1-5. And when you do this, you want to make sure your guitar is perfectly set and even. Even if you can tune it by ear, you want this thing on the money. So get a tuner just to check it. And make sure this thing is exactly leveled. Because it's not the, great, cool stuff you hear on YouTube. It's kind of like a coffee house thing. So make sure this thing's tuned right on the money. You want this thing exactly leveled. It's not the coolest sounding music. And I'd have the switch on the bottom. Have the guitar low. Okay, here we go. What you do is you play all 12 keys of Trouble in Mind progression. And on the second time around, instead of ending it 1-4-1-5 of that key, you play the fifth of the next key. So the circle of fifths of all 12 keys is C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, C sharp, A flat, E flat, B flat, F, and you're back to C. So you need to know the 1-4-5, all the numbers, the 6, the 2, the 7, the 3. But the progression is of Trouble in Mind. You can do this with any song. But the progression of Trouble in Mind is 1, we're in C, to 5, G, 1, C, to 4, F, 1, to 6, A7, to 2, D7, to G, 5-7, 1, F4, 1, G, 5. But the second time around, when you go to the fifth of that key, you have to hit the fifth of the next key. That's why this is advanced. It's very advanced. You don't see this in songs. So you would hit 1, 4, 1, D, because it's the fifth of the next key is G. And G to D, 5, to G1, to C4, to 1, to E7, 5, 6, A7, 2, D7, 4, 5, 1, 4, 1, 5. But then you can use sevenths. You can play C-shaped chords. You can use D-shaped chords of the chords. You can play the E shape. You can make them sevenths. You can make the A shape. You do all sorts of stuff. So there's all these shaped chords of cage theory this takes years to master. Then you got to play lead over it. It's about 10 minutes long, 9:30. Then you play lead over it, and you work as a lead player, switching on each chord like James Burton does on all his music. All different types of scales, switching on each chord. Then triads, dyads, all sorts of walk downs. There's all sorts of stuff. This is 30 years to master or more. So it's very advanced, and I won't tell you the numbers of all the keys. You have to figure it out, research it, ask your guitar teacher. And your hand's going to hurt. It's going to be painful. Just lightly press on the chords Then you can finger pick it the next time you do it. Of all 12 keys. You can do all sorts of stuff. This is decades to master. So here we go. It's very advanced. This is how you duplicate a lot of stuff on YouTube, and how to be a lead player and how to be a rhythm and singer. All sorts of stuff. And I'll do all 12 keys for you. Watch my hands. And you want the acoustic is what you want to do it on, because it's much tougher. It's going to hurt your hand more. The electric's much easier. It's not as hard. So do it on acoustic, but I'll do this on electric so it sounds better. Here we go. You ready? You want all the settings low. Put the reverb to 2. No, put it to 3. And put the middle, the treble, up to 2.5 on the Fender Blues Junior. Here we go. It's a treble mind chord progression. They all use it in the old days. Ray Charles, all the big time musicians, on one of their songs on their CD, they have this chord progression with whatever they name it. So it's been used since the 40s, this progression. So here we go. that's it. I made a few mistakes, just tiny mistakes while there was a pause with timing issue. I think it was on the E flat. I think I went to G or 2.5. Little timing problem. So one little mistake, but then run it back. It should be about 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Then place lead over it, and then when you master that, play the C shape and D shape with the chords of all 12 keys, all over the place. Use the D shape, use the C shape, use sevenths the way I did instead of the major chord. There's all sorts of stuff you can do with this. You can play the C shape. Your hand is going to be in pain. And it takes decades to master. Decades. It'll take, if you do that and you can play, to play lead over it and master it, it'll take 30 years to master, maybe longer. 30, 40 years, it'll take your whole life. Because there's so much stuff you can do playing lead to it. And there's so many shapes you can do to play the chords with. And it's the 1-4-5 with the 6-2-5-1-4-5. And those numbers are in a lot of Hall of Fame songs. And it's just in one key, then they switch to another key. Some they go up a half step. But those numbers are in a lot of Hall of Fame songs. The classic stuff in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Even the new stuff today. So have fun with that. It's very advanced. You need to be taking guitar lessons to understand what I'm saying. All right, see you.